And welcome to another episode of Experts Speak. I'm Michael DeLon, and today I am talking with Lou Bortone, who's well, they call him the video godfather. And we're going to learn about how you can use video in your marketing to gain clients and grow your business, really. Lou, first of all, thanks for being here with me. I'm looking forward to this.
Thank you, Michael. My pleasure.
Well, Lou has I want to let him tell you his background. He's been doing this for 20 or 25 or 30 or 40 years, long time in video. Probably before video marketing became a thing. So but the thing I really love about it is video is so compelling and is such a great way to really convey your personality and who you are and connect with your audience. And small business owners, they don't do it enough. They don't know how to do it. They're scared of it. So that's why, Lou, I wanted to have you on today. So talk to us, give us a snapshot of who you are, your background, and then what is it that you do and how do you help
Sure.
business owners?
Yeah, I grew up in the TV business. My dad worked at a TV station in Boston. And when I got out of college, I went into the television business myself. I moved to Los Angeles and did all the kind of Hollywood stuff, but always off camera, always on the marketing and branding side. So I was never on camera. I never wanted to be on camera. But when I moved back east and, the world changed quickly and online was becoming such a big thing. This is around 2005 when YouTube started. Right. I realized that, this is going to give the masses access to technology and to basically our own TV channel to anyone in the world with YouTube. So, right. And it's free. So I'm like, okay, I think I'll check that out.
It's a good thing.
So I've been doing that video marketing for entrepreneurs for the last 15, 20 years.
Okay.
Yeah. So I help, small business owners basically figure out their video strategy, where it fits in their business and how to use it as a powerful marketing tool. And like you said at the beginning, really just how to connect and engage with customers and prospects, particularly in the last year and a half with the pandemic.
Oh, yeah.
We've all sort of been forced into some kind of lockdown and things like that. It's really become sort of a lifeline for businesses to stay connected.
Well, it is. And, I tell my clients all the time, you've got to, you got to know, like, and trust somebody, but they've got to really believe you. They got to connect with you. And video is such a great way to do that. Let's talk just a little bit about where. So people say YouTube video channel and all that, that can be overwhelming, but you can use videos there. You could use them social media. You could use them website. Unpack a little bit about that. When you think video marketing strategies,
right?
Unpack that a little bit.
Right. And it's what's the best way to connect and engage with your audience so that they can build that know, like, and trust. And it doesn't have to be a video on YouTube, and it doesn't have to be a silly video on YouTube. Some of them are, but I do, Facebook Lives. I can just pop on Facebook anytime I want and basically talk to my community when an idea comes into my head or something I want to share. So that kind of instant access to an audience is great. I do a lot of video email and video in email. So if somebody has a question for me, rather than write an email, I might pop onto Loom, like loom.com or Vidyard, and just do a quick, And it's like, oh my God, he sent me a video. Like, that must have taken a long time. I'm like, no, it took shorter than it took to write an email, honestly. So it's just, sort of almost a mindset of like, how can I make a more direct connection? And I always say, the fastest path to know, like, and trust, I think, is video, because you're seeing a face, you're putting a face with a name. It's not some mysterious website with who's running that behind the scenes. So it's all just out there. And again, for me, being an introvert and not wanting to be on camera, I had to really start practicing what I preach. I can't tell other people to be on video if I'm not willing to do it. So I just kind of got used to it. And again, also really surprisingly low tech.
Yeah. And let's talk about that, because I've talked to some business owners and they're like, well, video, I've got to buy the $1,000 camera and the lighting and I'm like, well, actually you don't.
Yeah, and again, I always tell folks, your camera is probably in your pocket, because it's more than likely your phone, your iPhone or Android, which have amazing cameras now.
I do.
And I use the camera that's in my computer, so I'm just using the webcam that. And I mentioned earlier, like, well, I have a somewhat messy office, but as long as I have my little fake background here, this is a $15 poster that I tacked to the wall from Amazon.
Yeah.
So
But it's
No, we'll pay
brilliant because
$15 for the poster and $100 for the lights up here, and
yep,
that's it.
and
So,
you're good. And you're good
mhm.
to go. But even on the road, I love how you said the iPhone or your smartphone, because you can get an idea anywhere and you
Yeah,
can say, hey, boom, and you're there. And if you've built a community online, or you record it and then you send it to in an email to your list,
right.
that's okay.
Yep.
It's sharing. And the other thing you mentioned there, which I thought was really cool, you're an introvert. It took you a while to get used to it. How'd you crest that hill of getting used to it?
It's like, it's the same as speaking. It's like I think I can psych myself up for a 45-minute keynote if I need to, but I'd rather
Yeah,
not.
yeah, yeah.
So a lot of it's just practice, and frankly, a lot of it was with live video, like Facebook Live. It's really low-hanging fruit. I mean, people don't have huge expectations. Most folks realize that a lot of businesses are now working remotely, so you will hear my dogs barking in the background, and that's just part of the deal. So part of it was just like letting go of the perfection trap and
Thank
saying,
you.
this is not going to be pretty, but it's going to do the job.
Right. Well, but the thing is, it doesn't have to be Hollywood special, right?
Hmm.
That's not what people connect with, because we
Yeah,
don't connect with the stars on TV. We connect with real people who just
yeah.
happen to have dogs or fish or whatever. And when we do our interviews here, they're unedited because
Hmm.
I'm going to stumble. You're going to stumble, because when I'm sitting in front of somebody or talking with them on Zoom, guess what?
Yeah.
I stumble, I think. And people connect with that. They want you to be real, right?
Hmm.
Is that what you found?
Yeah, yep. And it's just the authenticity, and like I said, I just put it all out there, and I may be socially awkward from time to time. It's like, well, that's what it is in person, so
That's
you're getting the
right.
real deal.
Yeah. Let's talk from a marketing standpoint, small business owner marketing strategy. What would be like a real high level, easy strategy that
Yeah.
as somebody's going into the next quarter, the next 6 months to go, okay, yeah, I need to
Yeah.
add video. What are one or two or three like simple
Hmm.
strategy ideas
Right.
that you would share?
Yeah, and I always tell folks, think of video at the beginning, not at the end, like not as an afterthought. But if you already have a marketing plan, or if you're building a marketing plan, where can video fit there to enhance that? If you're doing email, can you do, add a video email once or twice a month? If you're doing any kind of social media like Facebook or LinkedIn or YouTube, can you do a live Facebook or live LinkedIn? So, and again, I say live on Facebook because the expectations are a little bit lower. It's a little bit less formal, and you're kind of allowed to be messy, sort of a come as you are party.
Yes.
So again, add video to your social media, add video to your email, add video to your outreach. Like, I hate doing cold calls, but I'll send somebody a Loom video or a video email anytime.
Yeah.
So rather than doing a cold call, I might just do an intro, a quick little video intro, and say, hey, I want to let you know about this thing we're doing, or, I also try to do stuff for, for birthdays and things like that. So just anything that you'd normally do offline, how can you do it online with video?
I love that. That is so simple. I'm a big fan of Loom,
Hmm.
and I never really thought about doing a reach out sales call thing with Loom, but you could
Hmm.
definitely do that. I use it after podcasts. I mean, I use it all the time.
Yeah.
It's super simple, and
Yeah.
it's what I tell them. And I love what you said earlier about practicing for a speech. You practice for video sometimes. It's okay if you do a presentation on video and you have to do it 3 or 4 times to get when you
Yeah.
first get going. Just don't
Hmm.
send them out.
Right.
But don't look for perfection. That's the thing,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah, one of my clients said, I did 99 takes. I'm like, that's 98 too many. So,
Thank
it's,
you.
one and done, and done is better than perfect.
Yeah, yeah. I've got a client that her phrase is done beats perfect every
Mhm.
time.
Yeah.
And it really is just getting it out there and realize people care less about your background and your lighting. They
Mhm.
care more about you and your message.
Right. Yeah.
Uh,
And the only exception to that may be like sometimes I talk about quick videos versus keeper videos. And
Right.
the quick videos are unedited, live, Facebook Live, maybe just a quick tip. Sometimes it might be a Loom video. And a keeper video is like, okay, I'm going to do a branding video for my homepage and my website. Maybe I should
Totally.
spend a little bit more time and effort on that one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe that one I should adjust the lights a bit. So there are a few videos like that, like on your website, or your about video where you're talking about your company, where you may want to put a bit more thought and
Yeah.
foresight into them.
Oh, absolutely. It was funny. I was watching a webinar the other day, and the guy was getting towards the end of the webinar, and
Hmm.
one of his lights went out, and so it kind
Uh-huh.
of dimmed. And he just said, "Huh, I just lost a light. Well, that's okay. We're just going to keep going." And I
Right.
love that he didn't stop and redo the whole video. And I thought, how many times have I had a light go out in my kitchen or something? It made
Hmm.
him so real. And I'm like, well, so now you don't want to do that on your branding video, but
Hmm.
if you're just doing a video and things, something's going to happen. The dog's going to bark or come in.
Hmm.
Hi, this is Susie, my dog, and I love her, right?
Yeah.
Nobody cares. It makes you more
Even on
personable.
CNN or the big news shows, you see somebody's doing an interview and their 4-year-old daughter comes in, and that's the best part of the video. So,
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because it really is about that connection with the audience and drawing them in.
mhm.
And video is a part of your overall strategy, right?
Right. Yep.
Let's talk about that phrase that you have on your website that I just love, that sentence: the play button is the most compelling call to action on the web right now. Where should somebody, a small business owner, when I go to their website, where should they have a video or multiple videos? What's your counsel to small business owners?
In a perfect world, you'd want them sort of at every stage of the sales cycle. So they find you, they come to your website, you've got a welcome video that's kind of front and center that tells you who you are and what you do and how you can help them, most importantly. And then, maybe they'll get a free report, maybe they'll opt in and get on your email list. If you're a brick and mortar, maybe they'll stop by. But again, if they do buy something on your website initially, you want another video on the thank you page so that they know,
Yes.
yes, you're in the right place, you didn't get ripped off, your goodies are coming. So really just sort of like where you would normally do that in real life, okay, you walk in the door, somebody greets you, and then you go talk to a salesperson and they explain the product to you. So any of those points, maybe you've got a product and you have an explainer video that tells how that product or service works.
Yeah.
So again, you're sort of greasing the skids and getting folks ready to become a customer, hopefully.
And that's great. I love that. I hope people understood that. So here's some ideas. We're in a small brick and mortar. Let's say it's a financial advisor. He
Hmm.
has that somebody hits their website, they see a video.
Yeah.
They like him, they download a report or whatever. They're ready to meet with him on Zoom. So they schedule an appointment on Zoom.
Hmm.
In that Zoom confirmation that goes out, have a video there of saying, hey, thanks so much, Lou, for scheduling the time to meet with us.
Yeah.
Here's what's going to happen when we meet. You and I
Mhm.
are going to talk for 30 minutes. I'm going to ask you 4 questions or whatever it is. Explain your process.
Yeah.
And then after that meeting, have another video. Lou, thanks so much
Yeah.
for meeting with me. And it doesn't have to be so personalized necessarily because
Mhm.
this could all be automated.
Yeah, that's the great thing is, and again, it's like if I come back from, now that we're starting to get back to conferences, events, and things like that, if I come back from that with a handful of business cards, I don't want to just stick them in a drawer. I might take the 2 or 3 people who I really connected with and say, I'm going to send this guy a Loom video or
Yes.
a quick video as a follow-up because I don't want this just to be, oh, I met a bunch of people, but I don't. So again, it's the connection. So that personal touch really makes a big difference.
It does. Now, here's one that I use a lot, and I share it with people, is video text.
Hmm.
So open up your text on your phone, hit the video button, and record a really short 15, 20-second text to somebody, super personal. To
Yeah.
my knowledge, texting has 100% open rate, but nobody does this, right?
Hmm.
But it's a great way if you meet somebody at a conference and you've got the next day, say, hey, Lou, I just really enjoyed meeting with you. Look forward to connecting again. Have a great day. Be safe.
Yeah, that took 10 seconds on your iPhone. And that's that.
Totally. So you've got this thing. So you can do Facebook Lives. You can do video text. You get your computers, which have really good, cameras and sound. What about sound? Do people typically, should they be using an external microphone? What kind of equipment should sound like a small
Mhm.
business owner? I mean, nuts and bolts. What if they said, no, this scares me?
I'd say, you really got like maybe a $300 to $500 setup to have a quote unquote elaborate studio. So I have I have a USB microphone that's a Blue Yeti microphone that was about $100. And again, I could use the microphone that's within the computer and it'd probably be okay. But if I'm doing a podcast or an interview or something like that, I want to be sure I have that sort of extra audio quality. So I have the Blue Yeti microphone. I have two LED lights. You can see the reflection in my glasses in front of my computer coming towards me. And I've got the camera that's in the computer, and I've got my $17, this is a tacked to the wall. I also have a green screen up there, but I don't use that all the time. And again, I can put whatever, they have office backgrounds and things like that. I just happen to have this.
Well, and let's pause right there. I like the fact that it's a poster because the Zoom has those fake backgrounds.
That's right. Yep.
But you disappear sometimes because it's
you ghost in and out of it if you don't have a plain background, like a plain white or a plain blue or whatever background. That gets a little tricky. Right. But it's it's those little things. I mean, okay, I've got if it's a cloudy day, I know I've got my lights and I've got my setup where I can sit down and go. Like I don't have to reset everything every time. So you want to find that corner of your office or that place where you don't have to set up every time.
Yeah. Well, and that's so important because that's the other aspect. If I walk into an office and I've got to set everything, no, you've got to have a place and that you just come and you hit one or two buttons and there you are, you're going.
Right.
And have your bullet points of what you want to talk about. And if you're going to, I recorded a micro training the other day. It was 10 minutes long. Mm-hmm. And somewhere in there, I mispronounced or something, two little words. Mm-hmm. Like it said something on the screen and I said something different. I don't care. It's done. It's out. Right. Nobody cares. It's not perfect.
Right.
So the aspect is in marketing, it's about making those connections at a deeper level because I'm still convinced people buy more because of who you are than what you do.
Right. Exactly. And it may not be today or tomorrow. I've had people who say, I've been watching your videos or I've seen your stuff since 2007 and now I'm ready to do like, okay. Great.
Totally. Well, it's that, we call it the 3% rule. 3% or less of people are in the market today for whatever you do. Mm-hmm. About 70% of people are in the market in the next 6 months to 3 years. Mm-hmm. What are you doing to stay in touch with them?
Right.
And it's your videos. I did a bunch of Loom videos around Thanksgiving, this past Thanksgiving, to my clients and just saying, hey, Luke, just wanted to wish you a happy Thanksgiving. You're really important to me. I'm thankful for you being in my life. Have a happy Thanksgiving. Boom, done. And I did about 20 of those in about, 40 minutes.
Mm-hmm. And, and I would almost guarantee that 99% of your competitors did not, or maybe they sent a plain email and that's how you differentiate yourself from other folks.
Absolutely. So video marketing is much more than just what we typically think of video.
Yeah. Well, like, I have to do a bunch of YouTube videos. Well, not necessarily.
That's right. Yeah. And when you do one video, if you're doing a video for YouTube, where else could you put that video? Mm-hmm. Okay. It's not just for YouTube. It should be for social media, for your website, you can have your own TV channel on your website with just all of your videos.
Yeah. I get the, I like to call it the I see you everywhere effect. It's like, well, I'm not everywhere, but my videos are kind of doing the work for me because the video that you saw on YouTube is on Facebook the next day and maybe on LinkedIn the day after that and maybe back on Instagram. So I'm trying to, give people as many opportunities as possible to find that wherever they may be, because I always tell clients to try to meet your customers where they are. So if you know that, a lot of my audience is on Facebook, then that's the way I'll connect with them. Right. Sometimes it's, again, text, like you mentioned, text. There are some people who just are more tech savvy and prefer that communication method. That's where I'll do my video because I know that's where that's the medium they like to use.
Right. Yeah. And so, but at the end of the day, it's keeping it simple, having a clear, compelling message. But in your videos, again, you're not always selling to get them to buy something. A lot of times it's relationship building. It's teaching something, maybe having a link to go somewhere else to get more teaching. It's building the relationship in a very personal way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. And that's why, people will say if they meet me in person, like, oh, I feel like I already know you because I've seen you so often on video. And this is somebody who doesn't, who is not, doesn't love to be on camera.
Right. But think about that. If you're listening to this, think about what he just said. What if in your marketing, you built a funnel so that when somebody opts into whatever, your lead generation magnet or whatever, they start getting videos from you. And then A week or two later, they feel good about you. They book a call, they get a few videos. And when they walk into your office or hit you on Zoom, they say, you know what, I really feel like I already know you. Do you think that's going to precondition them to hire you over somebody else? Do you think that sales call, that initial call, is going to be shorter because you're not having to build a relationship? Yes. That's the power of video.
Yeah,
And
you built a foundation.
absolutely. And getting people to know, like, and trust you. I mean, video many times is like taking people to a coffee shop, right? But it's just me doing my thing, and
Yeah.
they get to know me. And quite honestly, some of my videos, people don't like it, and they bail. They opt out of my list. That's okay. Don't need everybody to like me, right? I have a very unique personality and style, and it attracts a lot of people. It doesn't others, and that's okay.
Yeah.
It wastes nobody's time. So let's talk about real action steps here. You've got some resources on your website, and tell us how do people get in touch with you? What's your website? And then talk about a couple of the resources that we're going to have.
You can go to loubortone.com. That's LOUBORTONE.com. And I've got some freebies there. I have 99 video ideas. So if you're ever at a loss for like, well, what do I talk about on video today? Well, here's 2 years worth of stuff. I'll also give you a link to, I have a video tools course that I offer too, that just talks about things that we mentioned, like Loom and other low-cost video tools. I mean, the thing about Loom is there's a free version of that.
Right.
YouTube is free, Facebook is free, essentially, and other tools that are, and even if you have the paid version of Loom, it's like $5 or $8 a month or something, so it's not going to break the bank.
Right.
And again, use the stuff you already have. If you have a phone, you have a high-quality professional video camera.
Yeah.
You have a phone that's less than 5 years old, then you're in great shape.
Yep. So
loubortone.com.
Yeah. But it really is, because we have this thing. I don't know why we call them phones, honestly, because they do so much more. Most people don't use them for a phone as much as we use them for video or texting or social media or whatever. But you've got all these Facebook Lives and things that you can do. What I want to encourage the listeners, Lou, is to get started.
Right.
Start. Don't try to be perfect. Just start. Make a plan. I love your strategy, because I'm a big strategy marketing guy. Build a strategy and build one funnel or one aspect of your marketing, and say, I'm going to put video here. And then next quarter, add another one. And next quarter, add another one. And pretty soon you're going to have video all over the place.
Right.
It's not hard. Don't make it harder than it really is. I know Lou's been doing it for quite some time. That's why he's called the Godfather of video. And I love that. But loubortone.com, LOUBORTONE. That's going to be in the show notes. But check out what he's got. Everybody talks about video, but not a lot of people teach it or help people. And that's what you do. And that's why I wanted to have you as my guest today, Lou. Thank you for being here. And hopefully my audience has learned as much as I have, because you've given us great tips on setting up your equipment, on what to do, where to do video, and why it's so really, really important to add video into your marketing, so that your clients get to know you, and they'll trust you, and they'll buy from you, because they know who you are. You've shared yourself in a real sort of way, right?
Thank you. Thanks for having me on.
Well, you're welcome, Lou. Take care. I'm sure we will be back and talking some more. Have a great afternoon.